24-7, Aztecs, big winners. Of course, it's not like they absolutely, destroyed the scoreboard, but that game was never really in doubt. It wasn't stress free. But a win is a win, guys. 6 in a row, 7-1. Like we opened up the show, number one in the Mountain West, all alone. And man, they just keep rolling, Fiend. Uh, we were all there. The festivities were on point. The tailgate was amazing. The best tailgate by far, I have to say. And so a big shout out to Aztecs football for putting together. I don't know if it was SDSU alumni, San Diego State. I'm sure it had to be a collaboration of all the moving parts at San Diego State to make that homecoming tailgate happen. And it was phenomenal. Thank you guys, everybody who showed up, rolled by the tailgate, the yellow lot, River Park grass. I know we were having ourselves a good time. I missed out on seeing a few different people that came by. The Common Kings show was incredible, Fiend, one of my favorite groups. And so, but hey, the vibes were high. It was a beautiful day, beautiful night. Aztecs got the dub. Fiend, what stood out to you? Tailgate, the game, or something else?
Yeah, no, the probably the best pregame festivities I've ever been a part of. That Common Kings show was unbelievable. If you missed it, shame on you. You should have been there. Need to get out to more games. That was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Plus, our tailgate always rocks, and it was just great to see people come by, stop by, say hello. Alums that live on the other coast and come out to San Diego for homecoming. It was good. It was good to see, them and kind of people that we interact with on social media, and then some of the former players like Jesse Matthews, and we got to meet Mekhi Shaw's family, and so it was really good to see them, and I love reminiscing and talking with those Aztecs for life, when they come back to the Mesa. So very good times. And the game was interesting to begin with, right? Interesting. But man, that defense, dude, that defense, we got to come up with a nickname for him. It's amazing. The performances that they're putting on are just unbelievable.
I did open up the phone lines, but we didn't put out a direct prompt for people to leave the voicemails. Guys, if you guys don't know about our hotline, it is open for callers for question, comments, concerns, but we're going to have to open that bad boy up. Like we said, Fiend, open it up. Give us your guys' suggestions on a nickname for this defense, because this defense just keeps shutting teams down week after week. I think I got the phone number down here. We'll get into some of our voicemails because we got a couple. But that is the hotline number. The hotline bling, is that what it is, Fiend? The hotline bling. 619-777-8837. It was made known to me by Big Eddie that actually when you break down that number, it spells out something about the Utes. Something about the Utes. And we are not a Utah podcast, so I apologize for that. Or it's 77 studs, 77 studs, or it's 777 Utes. So you know what? I picked the number that was the catchiest, that would probably be the most easy to remember, and that's what you get for trying to do a good thing.
You got a Utah hotline. Great, thanks.
Yeah. Well, anyways, think about that though. So the game 24-7, Aztecs dominate on defense, man. I mean, if we're looking at the box score again, the offense did enough and had timely plays, right? The defense was suffocating. Of course, after that first drive, I didn't even get to see Wyoming score by the time I got in the game, Fiend, I'll admit it. But Wyoming last year, I was there at that game in Laramie, and it was crazy because that was a neck and neck battle. It came down to the wire. Of course, both teams are pretty different. Like we mentioned last week, they got a new quarterback, right? And they moved their last year's quarterback to tight end. Well, last year they had a lot of success on the ground with that running back gashing us, running the ball. And that's exactly what they did on that opening drive. The quarterback had a really nice long run all the way down into scoring position, and they punched it in. But that was it. For the rest of the game, they couldn't do a thing. is there a reason why maybe their quarterback situation was a little dicey there, Fiend?
I'm not sure what you're referring to, but yeah, no, we knocked him out of the game. I mean,
Mm.
one of their quarterbacks, we knocked him out of the game. I think their starting quarterback, Caden Anderson, the guy who came in, Landon Sims, he kind of just spelled Keenan Anderson, and I think was just in for like certain like run packages and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we knocked him out of the game, and Caden Anderson,
Mm.
he took his lumps too, and we put a heart hurting on him, and he must have been seeing ghosts out there because he threw 3 picks, and we got some really good pressure on him, and I like what Trey White said. I don't know if you caught it in the presser. He was talking about how their strength was the interior of their offensive line. So they didn't even bother blitzing up the middle. Like it was all blitzes on the outside, stunts that went around. They really focused on those tackles, and beating them. And that was huge success. They got some
Wow.
really big time sacks, and just really good defensive game plan by Orich. Again, the guy is a wizard, and they got the personnel, but he's also dialing up the plays that are making this stuff happen.
That's awesome scouting right there. That is awesome scouting right there on on the offensive line. And our defensive line, man, I mean, they're next level. They're getting after it. They may not be all the household names, that you may know after Trey, but they're playing as a really incredible unit right now. This defense, I mean, yeah. What are they, number 2 in the nation? Still hanging there right behind Ohio State, I want to say, or did Utah or somebody kind of get
They're
up in
they're
there?
right there. I mean,
Yeah.
they're definitely top 2 or 3, and I mean to hold a team to under 200 yards offense again is hats off to them. I mean, another performance they didn't give up a 100-yard rusher, 100 yards total on the ground. Um, all the takeaways that we had, fumble recoveries, interceptions.
How many
All,
turnovers? Because last year that was the problem. At times they were stout last year, but they just couldn't turn teams over. This year, it's coming every single game. It's either a turnover or return for a touchdown, a pick six, a
yeah,
fumble return.
it was four turnovers for
Mm,
Wyoming. So one fumble recovery and then 3 interceptions that he threw.
unbelievable,
We had a
unbelievable.
couple of interceptions our own. We'll get to the offense, but we won the turnover battle, and that was big.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean that's the story right there. I mean they tried and tried and tried, but every single time Wyoming had the ball, it seemed like they were coughing it up, throwing a pick, and you just gotta give this Aztecs defense. What would you compare this defense to? Would it be like maybe a raging bull going after a matador fiend? Is that
Yeah, I think that'd be a good comparison. Yeah.
well? What do we have here? What am I looking here? Explain this to me. Oh God.
That's one Aztec bull going after him. The Wyoming QB sidesteps him and gets nailed by another Aztec bull. So you get away from one, but you can't get away from the other. I'm coming.
uh, I got a
Coming.
buddy who sends me all these videos of like bulls down in Mexico and just always taking it to these poor guys that just risk their lives getting in the
Right.
in that ring. It's wild, dude. Like I have to like squint before I watch those Instagram reels.
That's what it feels like, though. These guys are running for their life from our defense. I mean, this is where like life, imitates art. I mean, it's after them. That's what they are. They're just a bunch of raging bulls, and one may get away from you, but you're not getting away from all of them. And it's exactly what happened there. And he coughed the ball up.
Yeah, they swarm to the ball, man. If the defensive line's not getting to them, whoever's getting the ball after they're getting swarmed. So I love that, man. I love that video. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So the defense shut things down. Let's talk a little bit unless you got something else you want to talk about on the defense, we'll keep going with your guys' questions and everything in the chat. I see you guys firing it up. Sergio, hit him again. The danger zone was definitely in action. Offensively, it was a ground and pound game. There were some big plays as well through the air. I remember that catch by Brown. That was a nice bomb he had down there. Of course, Napier had that. It was was that like a direct handoff or like a toss? And he's lined up in the backfield. Of course, we talked about it. Napier, the playmaker, they line him up everywhere, however he can get the ball. And he looked like he was going to get stopped. That was the first touchdown of the game. It looked like he was stopped in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He just wiggled himself around, gave him a little twist. You guys saw the highlights, and in he was. It was awesome to even things up, even that score up there in that first quarter. So he continues to make plays, man. I mean, it may not always come through the air, the numbers, but you just got to get the ball in Nape's hand. Jay Bug.
Yeah, he's a playmaker. I mean, so just get the ball in his hands, and he can make people miss like that. And he walked right into the end zone for 6. And so, yeah, get the ball in his hands. I like getting the ball in Byron Cardwell Jr.'s hands in space, like they did again. Last time it was a wheel route, official wheel route. This time it was not a wheel route. It was a tunnel screen. But he just followed his blockers, and when he just got that burst and that one cut that he makes, and it's daylight, and so that's I mean, he almost had 2 touchdowns, right? So the wheel route last week against Fresno, he should have gotten in but didn't. And then this one, he finally gets in, and they're targeting him out of the backfield, which I think is a really good idea.
Yeah, man, I know he's getting some write-ups on him now. I think that was his second touchdown, right? Like you said, so you start making those big plays. People start noticing and having that 1-2 punch. Lucky Sutton, I mean, just continues to pound opponents. This offensive line continues to just hammer people off the line. And you look at the eyeball comparison. You're looking at our offensive line. You're seeing those poor Wyoming defenders out there, and you're just like, dude, would not want to go against this offensive line. And then you got Lucky, who's also like one of those raging bulls, just exploding out of the backfield onto his way. What did he have? Like I know it was a career best for him, right? He just keeps continuing to stack up bests the more opportunities that he gets. And I mean, this is really his first full season starting. So I mean, man, there's plenty of football left to be played. 158 yards, 28 carries. I loved that, right? That dedication to him and the running game, right? And I think in a game like this where the style that it was going, right? You got to respect Wyoming's defense. They played tough, especially I think in the secondary and linebackers. I think they really flew to the ball as well. But I mean, what can you do? What can you do, man?
Yeah, I mean, when you have a massive offensive front, with those guys who are all over 300 pounds coming at you, and then you got a guy like the boogeyman with that face paint, just ready to knock your head off, and then Lucky Sutton behind them, like, just come on through, dude. I'm not stopping 3 levels like that. I've been such a huge advocate of just pounding the ball, man. Power formation, let's go. And it's funny because in the presser today, your coach was saying he wish he had gone to more power formations earlier in the game. I mean, that's where Lucky ripped off the 50-yard touchdown. And there was a wide gaping hole, and
he was like untouched. It was like untouched, dude. Even the announcer said
they pretty much were done at that point. I mean, you just keep pounding them, and eventually they submit. That's it. No más. And
hey, just because it's Dia de los Muertos doesn't mean you got to practice your Spanish over here. Happy. Well, I don't know if you say happy. Well, feliz, yeah, feliz Dia de los Muertos. I never really celebrated that growing up. I'll be honest with you, Fiend. But I got my homie over here. He's chilling. He's watching me on the pod. He's chilling.
Nice.
Um, I checked in the first half, at the end of the first half, right? And I think it was 15 plays passing, 15 plays running for the Aztecs at the end of that first half. And you're sitting there scratching your head, and you're kind of like, okay, we had that little trick play that again. I don't even want to say trick play, but it was a gadget play. It was, the line on the left, and then you got Dinigal on the right, and the handoff fumbled again. It's one of those things where, okay, we talked about it last week, Fiend, and I know you get that crick in your neck. You're just like, oh, God, why did he have to bring it up? 24-7 win, 6 wins in a row, 7-1 atop of the Mountain West, and yeah, Mateo's got to bring up the trick play. Well, I got a mouth, guys. I got a mouth. Sometimes I got to do that. But it happened. It happened. And, last week we talked about it. We kind of, I don't want to say we made it an excuse. I didn't make an excuse. That's honestly how I felt. I was like, okay, it's going to better serve them in the future. You're capable of running that type of play, knowing you got the defense behind you to make up for it if it doesn't go right. But you got to do those things because it's only going to sharpen you for next time when you're going to need it. I feel the same way again, but it's a little frustrating, right? I mean, if you're not executing, you can say all you want about play calls, and I'll let you rip. You can say all you want about play calls, right? The coach makes the play call, right? But he's not out there executing it. He's not the one fumbling. He's not the one dropping the handoff. So it's one of those things. If it works, awesome call, innovative. Prodigy. What do they call him? The offensive
Savant
guru
or something like that.
Savant. No, bring all the names, right? But if you don't execute it, it's like, why are we getting cute?
It's one thing to execute and get lose a few yards. It's another thing to not execute and you drop the ball and you turn it over, which is what we've done twice on those plays.
Now we're just nitpicking.
I gotta start wondering, at what point do we just run the damn ball? Like, come on now. Like, just run regular plays. Like, if they can't line up and match up with you pound for pound, right? And you have the advantage on them, why are you running trick plays? Nebraska during the 90s never had to run trick plays. They just ran right over you because they had the personnel to do it. They had the personnel to do it. So just run right over teams, and they hit them with some passes. But here's the thing. So we're in a situation like, that's all good. You just get the dub. Dub's awesome. Get the dub. If you want to go win a conference championship and you want to get to the LA Bowl, awesome. And that would be an awesome season. I'd be perfectly happy with that. But we're in a conversation now where we are in consideration, if we keep winning, for the college football playoff. Those rankings are going to come out tomorrow. And I don't expect us to be in the top 25. I expect probably Memphis or, one of the teams from the American, maybe even James Madison will be a little higher than us, right? But those teams at this point in the season, when you're that close, right, to those other teams, it becomes about window dressing. It becomes not only about shutting your opponents out, but also putting points on the board and the margin of victory. Okay? Because that does, you win a game 55-7, it looks a lot better than 24-7, right? I mean, yes, we are dominating on the defensive end. Offense has been pretty good. I mean, putting up average points, but you want to climb the rankings, you want to leapfrog some of these other teams, you got to put points on the board, you got to window dress, and you got to win by large margins of victory.
Dang it, man. We're getting canceled. We're getting pulled off the air. We're getting pulled, dude. The numbers are dropping. Everybody's bailing out. Everybody's getting off the stream. I get it. We're spoiled. We are spoiled, but I get what you're saying. 6-game winning streak. I'll wash my mouth out with soap for saying cute because this offense is anything but that. But I think that's what gets us riled up, right? Is because you know what the identity of this offense is, and it's like embrace that, embrace it. Now, I agree with everything you're saying because the rankings are coming out tomorrow and we're close, but we're not ranked in the top 25, so you know you're not going to get in there. But it's looking good. It's looking good. But here's another thing with Denegal banged up a little bit, right? Entering into the game, that's a factor. And so obviously, I think at this point, to be as creative as possible is kind of where we're at as well. You don't want to put everything on his arm. And I think that backs up even more for pounding the ball, running the ball. But to balance things out a bit, and obviously he was going for balance. Coach was going for balance in that first half. I think that's one of those things where you want to put in those wrinkles, do something different that's going to create a little balance without having to put everything on his arm right now. Denegal did come out for a spell in the game. I don't remember how many plays. I don't know if you do. But it was obvious when he went out. It was okay, ground and pound, run it, run. But what a gamer! I tweeted out there, dude. He's a gamer. He went out, came back in, like he's tough. He's toughening it up. So definitely not cute. Definitely not a cute offense.
You wonder too with some of those interceptions too if the arm was bothering him. On some of the interceptions. But yeah, I feel like we need to protect him at all costs. He is our QB1. I don't think it's even close between him and QB2. And so need to have him in the game, need to get him healthy, need to preserve. I did notice instead of diving forward, he was sliding. And I like to see that because you don't want to see him take hits on that shoulder.
He slid late on that first time though, and he still got popped. And I was like, "Oh no, that was too close. That was too close." Like you weren't gonna throw a flag on that because the defender, like it was a really late slide, and he got his shot in there a little bit.
Defenders, they know too. They know they're coached. Yeah. They know he's injured on his shoulder, so they're coached to go after him.
It's no mystery. It's no mystery. Shout out to T-Mac. It was great seeing you at the tailgate, dude. Always a great time to see you come out. And you know what I mean? We got to see Common Canes together, so that was dope. That was dope. He says, I am flexing because I called the score, but it hurt to see the hefty lefty miss his field goal. I felt bad for him. I don't know if I like hefty lefty, Fiend. I don't know if I like that nickname. I'll be honest with you. I hope Gabriel is approving of the nickname, but I know it's catching on. I know that for sure. His streak ends at 26, I think. He hit a field goal in the first quarter, and then I think it was right before the half. He missed a chippy. Yeah, he missed a chippy. Right, I think one of the defenders came around the line, and I think it might have distracted him on the edge because I was looking at it from that angle. That might have been third quarter. But yeah, the streak comes to an end. But you know what? It was a great one. It was a record-setting streak. You set a record. You set a record. You made your mark. And that's something I want to hit on. Thank you, T-Mac. That's an excellent point. Thanks for bringing up the special teams because the special teams were special. We got to meet, of course, Hunter Green's mom. That was awesome. The special teams with that miss, okay, wasn't as great as what we've seen in the previous games. But, I want to dial back on that because we did speak with some parents of former Aztecs, right? It's homecoming. Everybody's in town. And that's so big. You left your mark. No matter what happens the rest of this season, Gabriel Plasencia has left his mark on this program, on college football. So, dude, that's amazing. You know what I mean? That streak is amazing. Time to start another one. Another one.
It could be a streak that's around for a while, too.
Well, we'll see. Our next opponent, we'll see.
Well, I mean, at least at San Diego State, like the streak at San Diego State. I don't know about the Mountain West, but you're right, because Tokyo is who we're up next. So hopefully Chris Johnson can get around the edge and block one of those. That'd be nice. And but yeah, no, that we'll talk more, I guess, later in the week, right, about that. So
and T-Mac, the flip side, the Wyoming kicker was awful. I love it. I love
it, dude. Like, did he even, when he kicked it, did he even hit the end zone? Like, I'm not sure it did.
It just petered out. It was like, what's his name? Peter? I don't remember his name. As soon as he missed the first one, Ken Abels, shout out to Ken Abels. I get a text and he's like, You're not at elevation anymore, Wyoming. It was so great. And then he missed it again, went short.
Oh,
So
that one was awful, man. That looked like a wounded duck up in the air, man. That thing just fell back to earth so fast.
you're not at elevation. This ain't what is 12,000. What is it? 200.
77, I think, or 7220 or something. I don't know.
They got a website after it, which is cool. But anyway, yeah, his second kick didn't even reach the end zone. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Adrian. Yeah. Hey, what can you say? So yeah, making your mark. This team is making their mark, Fiend. They have already done it. They've already made their mark with this turnaround. A lot of football left to be played. The job is not done. We'll get into Hawaii. Probably. I'm hoping we can record again on Wednesday. I leave for the islands on Thursday, Fiend. I'm hoping that we can maybe have a Hawaii perspective on a little
Nice.
preview on Hawaii. But yeah, this team has they've made their mark, dude, and they're continuing to make their mark with each game. So no matter what we could complain about, and coach will tell you, he told you, yeah, hey, a lot to work on still. There's
Yeah,
a
oh,
lot to
absolutely.
work on.
And the
So
whole rant I went on, they're like, look, I'd
don't
be
be
so
scared,
happy.
dude. Don't be scared.
No. I'd be happy to win the Mountain West Conference and go to LA Bowl, and that's what you got to do. You just got to stack wins. I'm just saying, like from the CFP perspective, like we need some help. There's a lot of good teams, a lot of good competition in that American, and I'm not sure that if we don't get help that we're going to leapfrog them. So that's all. That was the whole point I was making about just trying to run up the score on these fools, especially the ones that we're leaving behind in the Mountain West as we move on to the Pac-12. Let's add insult to injury.
Mm, mm. Well, I do want to say something because we're having a great time, and so I want to share that with you guys a little bit before we go any further and kind of get a little serious and all that stuff. I do want to show a little bit of what you guys missed out if you weren't at this game. I mean, it was an awesome time, awesome tailgate. So here's a little Sons of Montezuma highlight action of our homecoming.
Let's fucking go Aztecs! Woo! Aztecs make some Let's go, Seven and one, baby. Let's go, CFP, baby.
Oh, just having a good time. Just having a good time, Fiend.
Just doesn't even do it justice though. Like how I mean, no, I mean it's awesome, dude. But like just being there, that experience, the whole Common Kings tailgate football game, kicking their ass. Like man, that's what Saturdays are made for, and awesome time.
I man, Big O, you are a treasure. Big O, he makes the tailgate, dude.
Oh
He
yeah.
makes the tailgate. I love it. The diamonds. Oh man, love it. I prefer Juan as Placencia's nickname, and
Mhm.
that's what Oscar.
I like it. Yeah, I like
has
that.
Juan. I love
Mhm.
it. Okay, it's not racist. We're Mexican. Okay.
That's his number, by the way.
Yes,
Anyone
yes.
wanted to know.
Okay, so yeah, it was a great time, man. Common Kings, of course, best tailgate ever. I do want to say, um, all the best prayers and just man, heart goes out to Tano Latuli, who suffered an injury that first half, went down. I'm not sure what the injury was. I know Luce was asked about it in the presser. He didn't disclose anything other than it was a lower body injury. Of course, tests are ongoing, he says. And just yeah, just what
Didn't
can you
look
say,
good.
man? This
Yeah.
was a big game. This was a homecoming game. Obviously, the Latuli family is very responsible for having Common Kings out there,
Yeah.
and you just see the family out there supporting. There's so much joy, so much energy, and we talked with them for the season, um, and just knew how much promise there was in this year, and there still is. But it's just frustrating to see that.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking for him.
Yeah,
He is like the heart and soul of that defense. And you
yeah,
always see him in the huddles before games, getting everyone pumped up. And, he's a real leader out there on the field. And it just, I'm heartbroken for him if this is very significant and, he misses significant amount of time or the rest of the year, especially in front of his family. And his uncle, I think, is the lead singer of Common Kings, and so it's just it's really, really, really difficult to see that, and your heart goes out to him and his family, and um, prayers for quick healing and keep his spirits up.
yeah, yeah. No doubt, leadership, like you're saying, man. That leadership is so important, and coming in from the Naval Academy right where he was at, coming home. I mean, he was one of those guys last year that, battled through and really helped shape the attitude adjustment of this year's team, right? I think just that defense bonding together. I know he's rubbed off so much and on his teammates, they're gonna pick it up and dedicate even more for him. So
I think according to like Pro Football Focus too, he was like the highest graded
yeah.
linebacker on the West Coast. I mean, just
Mm.
playing phenomenal. Such a huge cog in that defense. Fortunately, we do have a great one too behind him and Mr. Williams. So hopefully he will carry on. If Tano misses, significant time, and he's been pretty good, when Tano has been nicked up and out of the game. So it's good that we have some depth there at that position.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, guys. Well, let's go ahead and transition to talk a little bigger picture, real quick before we are going to get to some hoops talk. We are going to get to Aztec basketball because Long Beach State is tomorrow. The season's opening up. But before we get into that, so in football, the Mountain West is shaping up to be pretty interesting. Fiend, we've got a last batch of games, right? And so the question that I pose on the thumbnail here, guys, is pretty much that. I mean, can the Aztecs crash the college football playoffs? We're number one in the Mountain West Conference right now. Boise State lost at home to Fresno State, just absolutely got embarrassed. And that was something everybody was talking about at the stadium, right? Because that game happened a little earlier. And it's just the fact that Fresno State, they really, really care about that rivalry. It's a little more meaningful for them right now because they've played Boise in the WAC those years all throughout the 90s and 2000s. And probably even before then they were playing Boise for a while there. So they wanted that game bad. We embarrassed Fresno, those dang dogs, and they went out there and they handled business. Took Boise down. Well, then what happens? UNLV gets a big L at home as well to New Mexico. And then Hawaii, our next opponent, they drop on the road against San Jose State. Now, from what I understand, they've been on the road the last few weeks, so it's been a little bit of difficult for them, but they're still very tough. Either way, we've leapfrogged everybody. We're all alone. Boise State's one game behind us with them on the schedule in 2 weeks. So, Fiend, looking at the rest of the schedule, we could do this. We are not coaches.
Yeah.
We are not players. We could do this. Hawaii on the road, tricky. At home against Boise, I'm feeling a lot more confident about that game, especially with their quarterback being down. We'll see if their starter comes back.
Yeah, do we know like the severity of that injury? Like if
I
he's going to be
of course, when we're talking about injuries, right, everything's still very vague
Yeah.
until you get to those official reports. But it's not looking good from everything I'm hearing. And their backup just really looked bad. He really looked. He
Yeah.
didn't look like he belonged out there at all. So trouble in Boise, that's for sure. But they will regroup, so we'll see. And then San Jose State at home. I'm glad we have two back-to-back home games for the first time this year because everything's been really spread out. I mean, this was the first home game in like a month or so against Wyoming.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice to have some home cooking, especially after Hawaii. I think Coach alluded to that a little bit. It's not so much the travel there, it's the travel back. So two home games against Boise, San Jose, and then on the road against New Mexico, who we just said took down UNLV. This is a very, very tricky last 4 games of the
Yeah.
season. But this defense, this defense is that good, Fiend. They are
Yeah.
that good. I'm looking at all these teams on that 4-game list, and I think this next one is probably going to be the trickiest.
You think so?
I think so. Offensively speaking, I think Hawaii is going to be the trickiest, just because. And I know we'll take a deeper dive, but them and New Mexico to me, I probably think are the trickiest as far as offenses. That's if you're counting Boise's quarterback being out, right? Um, and I just think because Hawaii does, it's going to be very different than what we've seen.
Okay. I mean, I still think we're favored. I think in every game now.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah,
the one
absolutely.
that I think will be, I think the most tricky, um, is probably the New Mexico game on the road, just because that was not really expected. They're playing well beyond their expectations coming into the season, or what people thought of them coming into the season. And they're playing really well, and that's a game at elevation. That's gonna be a tough game to close out the regular season, and so um, Boise will always be tough at home. You got a lot of homegrown or guys from San Diego that play for, or Southern California, I should say, for Boise, and so they're going to have a lot of family friends there, and they always play us tough, when they come to Southern California. So regardless of the quarterback, they have pretty good defense, I think. Some good linebackers. That Notriani's really good. We'll get more into that as we get closer to that game, but yeah, there's definitely some we got to stay sharp. That's the thing. I think that's the main focus, is staying sharp, working each day to get better, and that's what coach really alluded to. He hit on in the presser of, keeping a business mind like attitude, and like this trip to the islands is not for fun. It is not, a vacation. This is a business trip. They're focused, dialed in. They want to get there, get a win, get out, and then move on to the next one. And so I like the mentality. I like how he is keeping these guys grounded. I think that's going to be very helpful as they start to get the accolades, they get the praise from not only the Aztec fans but the national media and all that. It's easy for that to go to your head and to rest on your laurels and not keep moving forward. And so I really love the analogies, everything that he is putting out there, that the stalagmites, building on top of each other, and the climb, and just great analogies, and he's really, what I really love about this stuff that he's, with all the speakers that he's bringing in and everything, and the life lessons, that he's instilling in these kids, and
Right.
how to approach each day, and so it's phenomenal teaching, I think, on his part that I'm seeing. And I think it is reflected in the way that they're playing, and so you just hope that they continue to, get better and better. And even when they don't have their best game like they had on Saturday, it's still going to be enough to get a win, and they're going to keep moving forward towards that climb, towards that championship, and hopefully a college football playoff appearance.
Yeah, I very much think I'm not afraid of this being a trap game. That question was asked to me this morning, was like, okay, the talk around is Hawaii could be a trap game, and I just don't see it. I don't see it with this group. I think he's got them locked, razor sharp focus.
Yeah.
They're playing for each other. Those life lessons are real. I'm talking with Seth Adams, the boogeyman, last week. You guys, make sure you go check out that episode. That interview was really cool to talk with him. And, just you see it's real. It's not, just talk. It's not rah-rah. It's not like something you would see at LSU this past year where it's just a bunch of talk, fake talk. Like this is a team that's really bonded together. They know Hawaii is a unique challenge. And so I think they're really, really going to hunker down, study their assignments. Of course, when you got challenges of injuries around you, that keeps you grounded. I mean, because every game could be your last game. I mean, there's no telling what each game is going to bring. So I have no problem thinking that they're getting their head blown up with reading newspaper clippings and seeing rankings and the potential of a college football playoff. The reality is they are with their destiny in their hands, and it's right there in front of them for the taking. They're in the driver's seat. Every game from here on out, it just stacks towards that possibility. Will it happen? They're going to need some help, but like we said, the destiny's in their hands. And I think Hawaii, they're tough, but San Jose State, I mean, they put it on them. It was a tough game. It wasn't, complete blowout. Hawaii's quality, man. They played defense, but San Jose State wanted that thing bad. I think these Aztecs are going to remember how close it was the last time they played, and they'll be ready.
Yeah, you know what other advantage they have in Hawaii is they have the danger zone on the road. Going on the road to the Hawaiian Islands. Don't discount that. Don't discount the Sons of Montezuma road trip to Honolulu. I know you guys are going to bring it. I mean, the Fiend Whistle will not be there. Saving it for Vegas for the NIL tournament. But I know you guys will bring your best, and you'll bring us home a dub.
We will be there. A good group of us will be making that trip. And, of course, we hope to connect with as many of you fans that are going to be making the trip out there to the islands as well. We'll be looking forward to connecting. So we'll get into more Hawaii talk, hopefully Wednesday. Hopefully we can make that happen. We'll see. But, yeah, I'm excited. So, guys, really quick, let's pay a little attention, pay some I say pay bills, but we ain't got no bills to pay and none of this stuff like that. But anyways, sonsofmontezuma.com. You guys make sure you guys are checking out the online shop. Of course, 15% off using the promo code MONTY Monty. Of course, we saw the Aztec Warrior out there running around Snapdragon. Got to keep the spirit of Montezuma alive. Got to keep that going. So, hey, headwear, a special deal, 2 caps at regular price. You get a free t-shirt of your choice. No discount code needed for that. It will be automatically taken at checkout in your cart. So definitely check out the new styles. You guys know where to go. sonsofmontezuma.com for all your Aztec apparel. No, that's like legit. Yeah, sonsofmontezuma.com. You guys make sure you check that out. Thank you guys for the support. Of course, I got my hat here. I got my 1995 cornhole championship shirt. It's also in the shop. So yeah.
I got my Boss Ross NIL shirt. Boss
Ross. Love it. Okay, guys, should we talk some hoops? How's everybody feeling? Because it's opening night tomorrow night, Fiend. The Aztecs taking on. Are they the Beach? Are they the Sharks? Are they just Long Beach State?
The Beach.
Their mascot is a shark.
Is it?
Yeah, they just brought it in. I think around 2018 or 2020 or something like that. It used to be Prospector Pete, was that who?
Yeah, like the 49ers, right? Yeah,
the 49ers. That's what it was. But I don't know if that was. That was probably racist, bro. It's probably racist. So brought in a shark. And so yeah, they're the beach, something like that. Anyways, you wrote a really cool 3 things article taking a look at Long Beach State. It's the official opening tip-off for Aztecs basketball. Of course, it's a very, very, very hyped up year. The team is deep. We talked about it last week. I mean, they ran over USD, absolutely destroyed them. Wasn't close. And a lot of talent. How is Dutcher going to play them all? We already talked about a little bit about those, starting lineups, and in the presser today, he was continued on a little bit about that. They asked him who's the starting five. He's like, I still don't know yet. I don't know yet. He's got to see who's ready to practice today. So I'm sure he'll make a game time decision, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Why is it going to be fine, Fiend? Why is it going to be fine against Long Beach State?
I mean, we're just too deep and we're too powerful, and Long Beach State doesn't have anyone really coming back. They have no continuity from last year, so I think that's a real disadvantage for them to start the season. They haven't played in any exhibition games that I'm aware of. I think they played like an intra-squad game, but they have one guy, Derek. No, what's his name? Michael. Does it Derek Michael Xavier or something like that? Xaviero. They call him DMX. Anyway, they call him DMX. Gonna give it to you.
No barking.
That's the only guy that they have coming back from that team last year, and that was not a very good team last year. They were 7-15. They lost, I want to say, 15 in a row, or they lost something like ridiculous in a row. I don't remember how many they lost, but they did not have a good end to the season. Chris Acker had to go back into the portal and replace a lot of the talent that they lost, and so I do feel like this should be a convincing victory. They've got a couple of interesting players, that you might find kind of exciting to watch. Dallas Washington, he's like a 3-star recruit. It's the type of guy that like Long Beach never would have gotten in the past, but because of NIL and the transfer portal and everything, and some of these freshmen getting overlooked, Acker was able to land him. He's a pretty good player. He's like 6'10", can handle the ball on the outside, can shoot. He'll be kind of exciting to watch. And then they've got a transfer from Syracuse, long guy. They've got some length on that team. They're pretty long. And then they have 2 guards that transferred in from a couple of lower major schools that have some experience. So at least they have some experience at a position that's really important at the guard position. So, but I think I would not be too worried about this game. I'm not, but then again, I don't think Boise was too worried about Hawaii Pacific, and they got beat at home by a Division II school. So you just never know. It's gonna be fun to see all the guys, see Acker back in the building. To see DeMarche, I think he goes by Shea now, Shea Johnson. See how he's playing with them. He didn't really get a whole lot of run with the Aztecs while he was here. He started to get some towards the end of last year because of some injuries, but
good for him. New location,
like
rebrand your. You're getting his aura up. Is that what you called it? Getting your aura.
I mean, I don't want to see him doing alley-oop dunks on us, but
hey, he can do it.
No, I mean he'll get some more playing time. So be excited to see him, and then Phil Scott will be in the building too, trainer for Lamont and Lamont Butler and Kishad Johnson, and maybe a couple other guys on the team as well.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
We have good connection with him. He's always been really cool to us, and so
I'd always run into him up at the top of Viejas. He'd be looking down and then pacing back over here, and I'm just like, dude, what's up? What's up? So he's gonna be down there on the bench. Like, that's awesome.
Good for him. Awesome. He got a job, landed a job with on the Acker squad, and so I really want them to do well. I just I want to blow them out here, and then they can do their damage in the Big West. But I guess they're predicted to be a little better than they were last year. But I don't know.
It'll take some time. It'll take some
time for him, man. Acker, Acker's a good dude, and he's a good coach, and I really hope it works out for him there. Yeah. And this will be good test for them to figure out what they need to work on this season, to get better and to raise their standard of play. And so, and I'm sure they'll be motivated. They want to come in and knock us off. And, you know, we got just a lot of talent on this team, a lot. And, you know, I think Dutcher is going to play probably 11 guys tomorrow. And Bird is going to play too. I think he's available. I don't know if he'll start or play, but he is available.
Yeah, they had him on the presser. I don't think you put him out there on the presser if he wasn't feeling good to get out there. I'll tell you what, man. There's a little bit of development going on, but it's opening night, and so we got to bring in a special guest. You guys see him? He's our one of our main. I want to say main producer, executive producer. Is that what you want to say? You guys see him down there working it at Swish League all summer long. He is a big part of what we do here at Sons of Montezuma. Let's give some show some love to Andrew Ochino.
What's going on?
I'm in the middle.
What's going on?
What's up? What's up, Chino?
I don't know how y'all do it in front of the camera, though. That's why I say behind the camera for that reason. So y'all killing the game tonight here.
Welcome, dude. Are you excited for tomorrow? I know you're excited, man. You get the whole arena jumping, dude.
I don't know about that. It's a group effort. It's a group effort on that part there. You can't do it alone. That's always the key there. It's always what would Steve the goat Steve Fisher say? The team.
Mm.
The team.
Mm-hmm.
Never forget. You don't forget your roots. So that's all I got for it there. Just having fun. You know, after a long day of work, you just want to let some anger out. You just want to let that stress out. We all work so hard. We all work at it. You just got to let it go. Let it rip.
Especially these days, man. Especially these days, everything it's it's gonna be a fun day tomorrow, right? It's gonna be a fun day tomorrow.
For sure, and that's cool. They got it on the the local station. Picked up a bunch of non-conference games. KUSI. I just did.
Yes.
I beat you to it.
I
don't know if
that was pretty cool to see. Yeah. What's the weather forecast gonna be like tomorrow? I don't know. That's gonna be cool to see, dude. I thought that was a really cool development. They're showing how many games is it locally on KUSI?
So 6 men's games, 5 women's games. That's really cool. And I'm like,
okay,
as you know, and for those watching out there, I've worked in the game for a long time, so it's just kind of really cool to see finally. You know, you get all the games on CBS, you know, the big CBS Sports Network. That's cool. You know, we're going to be on there, no doubt. But then there's those other games where, you know, the non-conference games where, you know, where they won't get them. And it's kind of like, hey, someone air them. And good for KOSI to get them, to get those games. Local channel. They got all the room in the world for programming. Like, I mean, behind the scenes stuff, you know, it's cheaper to produce, to pull the feed and put an announcer on the game than buying the rights to reruns. So I don't know, Judge Judy or Judge whoever, Judge something. Is People's Court still on? I was like, goodness gracious. Just saying, the business side of things here. It's all
Price is right.
So it'll be a local announcer?
Local Steve Quiz, longtime guy doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been doing it. You know, he does our games. He does the games for the Little Sister School Lacrosse. You know, he's done some Big West games too. He's been around it for years too. So very familiar voice. You know, it is granted they're going to pull the Mountain West feed, which I think they're pulling a separate feed for it because it's on the television. So that's definitely going to work. Good luck to those who are watching it on the Roku or whatever it is, or because I think the last time they tried this, I think they had a good chunk of the signal not work. So
on the football side, right?
Football side, I remember.
Yeah, that was Stony Brook, the football opener.
Oh yeah, the good old Mountain West Network. Thank God we're leaving. I don't want to get a diatribe, but Pac-12 Network, they're getting your own broadcast, getting everything. That's going to be a game changer, not just for hoops, men's, women's, but sure. You know, for a lot of other sports. Just saying.
I know you say burn it down on the basketball side, dude. We might be burning this thing down on the football, basketball, soccer. I don't know how soccer did. I don't know, but yeah. Speaking of the women's, dude. I didn't see what the score was. I know they played UCLA tonight. I didn't see that score.
Yeah, was that the exhibition?
That was a tough one.
No, Wooden Classic up in Anaheim. When I think last I saw, they're down double digits here. Kind of UCLA, not exactly a pushover.
77-53 final UCLA. They are number 3 in the nation,
Oh, wow.
UCLA. So no shame in that. No shame
Yeah,
in
no
that. That's one of those games that you learn, just like Long Beach State is going to.
For
They're
sure.
going to learn tomorrow. They're
They're
going
gonna
to
learn tomorrow. That's what's happened.
learn. Peace, Sabes. Okay, guys. I did have a couple callers. One football, one basketball. You down to take a little football action with us, Chino? You down?
Let's do it. I don't think we've screened these calls anyway, so I think are we doing this for the first time?
Never do. Never do.
That's the beauty of it. Let's do it.
Now, I heard the first like 2 seconds of this call, and I understood it was like a Halloween themed call, right? I think Fiend hit his face. He's embarrassed. He doesn't want to be seen on during this phone call, but it's okay. It's all right. Okay, so yeah, let's. I know it had to do with Halloween. Let's see what we got here. Of course, it is the hotline. You guys know. You guys can call in anytime and leave a voicemail. The number is 619-777-8837.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Oh, good evening, sons of Montezuma dudes. I am Aztec Dracula, and I want to talk to you about your extended warranty. Just kidding. It is Halloween afternoon, and I'm super busy right now, but I tried to call the hotline before the podcast, but I do not get the reception in my coffin. Anywho, I want to give my bloody prediction for Aztecs game Saturday. I think the Aztecs, they will attack like the children of the night. They will pressure the quarterback, make him throw wounded bats all over the battlefield. I will be at the game with my bats, and they will get into the quarterback's head and whisper terrible things into his earpiece. And blood trickles out of his ears, yummy red blood. And speaking of blood, they will be in the red zone, the delicious red zone. My prediction for the game would be 24-3 Aztecs.
Okay, look, I heard the first couple of seconds, and I was like, "This is Halloween themed," and this was made on Friday, so it was before the actual game. So 24-3,
pretty good prediction.
pretty good prediction.
Right?
I mean, it is exactly what
Dracula
it
was
Pretty
right
good.
on.
Not as good as T-Mac's prediction, but that was pretty good. And that was a pretty good Dracula voice too. I don't know who the numbers are, guys. So when you call in, like I don't see caller ID, nothing. But I just know it was made on Friday, so that was a really good prediction. Very good prediction.
Not too shabby, I gotta say.
So, anyways, wanted to share that with you guys. A little weird, but you know, this is Sons of Montezuma, right? This is so.
Anything goes, right? That's what's great about being unofficially official. I'm saying.
Okay, let's see if I can time this right.
Questions.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for taking my call in. I've got a few questions. What player do you think will have the biggest breakout or pleasant surprise through the season? What are your hottest takes and also coldest takes for the entire team as a season? And then what stat do you think will matter most? My answer for that one is, once again, rebounds. That's been my answer for a few years, but curious what you guys think. Thanks.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there. Okay, so let's recap the questions. What were the questions?
Let's see.
Also, coldest takes.
Hottest takes, coldest
takes.
And I think it was like the breakout. Player breakout, I would probably say this year. I mean, we kind of touched a little bit on it last week, I want to say, but I would say Taj. I think Taj is playing at an elite level right now, and he's so versatile. He's not somebody that you're gonna leave on the bench if he's not starting. He could be a 6-man that could just totally take over a game, I think, on both sides. Of course, that's just one guy. I mean, there's so many different players I think you can say could have their breakout season. I'm sticking with Tosh.
It's crazy about Taj. You're talking about Taj because we saw that development. We saw that really kind of unfold over the Swish League over the summer
Hmm.
here. It was great to see that live and be
For
able to
sure.
do those broadcasts in person, and you just kind of you can see those shades of him, like what he could do when he takes over, when he just gets going. It's like flames on flames, is what you have there the day. That Vegas connection between him and Pharaoh is going to be something. Pharaoh's got like that. He's got that like Billy White grit to him. That big game Bob. Like I love the emotion. You need a little bit of that here, especially going into the last year of the Mountain West, where you're the big dog, and you're going to be the hunted and whatnot. There, you need a little bit of that swag. You need a little bit of that. I Pharaoh's got that shades of it there, and he's making his free throws in the summer too, along with Heidi. So
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah, I would. I mean, both those guys could definitely have breakout years. It could be multiple guys that have breakout years, right? Not just one. LZ Harrington's another one that I'm really big on, just from what I've seen for the first couple of preseason games, and from what I've heard from how he's played in practice. Um, when's the last time we've had guys who were like point guards? When you got Taj, LZ can run the point. Um, when's the last time we've had guys that were that tall, right? That are like 6'5", 6'6". The versatility that those two guys can bring to the team, not just being able to play the point, but being able to guard like one
Yeah.
through four, right? On the floor is special. There, because you don't have what'll happen is, in the course of a game, you'll have mismatches because of like pick and rolls and stuff like that. Well, you run a pick and roll on LZ, or you run a pick and roll on Taj, they're not at that much of a disadvantage, right? Because of how tall they are. And so that's really going to be special to see, not only their contribution to being able to handle the rock and shoot it, but the defensive versatility that those guys bring.
We probably had maybe one guy on the team, in the past, but not this many. Not
No,
this many. Yeah.
not that I can remember. A lot of our guards, our point guards, have been like 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2". They've been smaller guards. We've got
X Thames
some
was six
guys that
three. He was
X
six
Thames
three.
was 6'3". Yeah, he was bigger.
Yeah.
He was taller. But I mean, what's LZ, like 6'5", 6'6", and same with
Taj, right?
Taj. I mean, they're both really tall guards that can, when they get matched up with a center, or they get matched up with someone who's 6'9", like they're not at a terrible disadvantage, like if a guy like Wayne McKinney got matched up on them. You know what I mean? Or who else? I don't know. Anyway, so that's the beauty of having guys like that. Darian Trammell is another one that comes to mind. Um, of having guys who are a little taller on your team.
Guys, any hottest takes or coldest takes? What is that even coldest take? What's a cold take?
Coldest take is
Cold
like
take,
what they like.
like cold water bucket on your
Yeah, like Mike's
Final
take.
Four dreams, like Mike's, yeah, like
No, I'm
like
just
Mike's takes. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Like, all right, just wait, just wait.
Mhm.
You asked me for it. I think my coldest take was probably something I said last week, is because he's talking about stats as well. The caller, rebounding was his biggest stat, and that's my question mark: is are we going to be able to be that rebounding team down low on the block? Will we have that ability to be as dominant as we have been in the past? Guys got like AG, and of course, like Ladie, bangers down there, big body. It's going to be interesting to see how Heidi, Pharaoh, and Goon and Majak got to meet Majak on homecoming down there with Miles. That was really cool. Got to shake some hands. So we're pulling for him, but we'll see. We'll see how they perform down there on the block.
Let's call it Heidi Beast on the boards there this year. I really think I saw him take it. I think there was a game I think last season. I think we were playing New Mexico at home or something like that. It was when we had JCJ and Heidi kind of just came into his zone too. The bigs or something. I don't know if Fiend had to do it. I think it was with JCJ. I think you said something to JCJ or something last year. I don't know. They all the bigs took it personally that day, and I remember Heidi just, don't let his nice hair fool you. And everything.
Yeah.
When he gets going, on the boards there, it means he can be that bully on the block. And you know what? You just get. We saw shades of that last year, and I know it's an exhibition. You see UCLA, you see him. He was grabbing those boards one after another there, and you know what? Cleaning the glass. I call Heidi on that one.
Yeah, no, he's been great. He's been great in the exhibition games, not only on the offensive rebounds, which that's been his specialty last season, but also cleaning up on the defensive glass. So, yeah, I think we'll be okay on the boards. I think we'll be fine, especially once we get Goon back. That's going to be huge for us. We don't know exactly when that's going to be. It's going to be cleared in a couple of days. He's on track to be cleared, but then to get into game shape and whatnot, we don't know how long that's going to take. But I don't know if I really have any cold water takes.
Hey, it's the beginning of the year. You got to get them out. Either a hot take or cold take. Any predictions, bold predictions you want to say? How far this team can make a run? If you don't speak now,
yeah.
Forever hold my peace, I guess.
My coldest take would be here's my coldest take, that we get a high seed and we get knocked out early in the tournament by like a high seed. That would be my coldest take, based on like how we played last year and in the tournament. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but this is a team where if you don't have, we've got a lot of good players, really good players. We've got some NBA talent. Maybe Reese is a go-to player. Maybe Miles can be a go-to player as well. But who's going to really get you that bucket in crunch time? I'm not sure exactly who that player is. So that would be my coldest take, is we get a very high seed and we get knocked out first round. My hot take is we get to a Final Four.
Okay, you're casting a wide net there.
Cold take, hot take. Right. Final Four. It's so competitive this year.
Yeah.
Let's face it. A team that was Final Four a couple of years ago could be round of 32 or Sweet 16 this year.
Fiend's hedging his bets over here. He's hedging his bets.
Isn't that what you do with cold and hot takes, though?
Not on the same take, though. Not on the same take, though. It's got to be like two different things.
But it is two different takes. Those are
not really.
All right,
you're saying they could finish Final Four, or they're going to get knocked out in the first round. Like, it's the same take, but you're taking two. You're taking two sides of the same argument.
All right, let me choose another one. Then.
Chino, you're done. Chino, how far? Where are the Aztecs going to be seated at come March? What do you predict?
Let's go West.
Ooh.
Why not?
No, like what number? What seed?
Let's go 4.
4. That seems to be I've seen that around.
Let's go.
Would that bring them in the West?
Bring them in the West.
Possibly, yeah.
Bring them in the West. Where does that take us? Sacramento or whatever it is? I don't know what the rotation is, Evan.
If the Mountain West doesn't seem, if Boise's losing to D2 teams. What does that say about the Mountain West?
They lost to a quad 69 team there in Hawaii Pacific there, which doesn't count, by the way, towards the net and the Ken Palm and all that stuff. But the committee will look at it too, when they see the big resume. Sure. Like, oh yeah, Boise.
That's a huge blemish on their record, definitely.
No cold take on there. Boise took the cake tonight on that, lose it at home and whatnot there. My hot take is, we're not going to lose at home. That's my hot take. Let's go for
That's a good one.
Let's go for
That's
broke.
A good one.
If we're going to burn it down on the way out of the Mountain West.
Undefeated in Viejas, of course. The show's going to be there. I'm interested to see how the new look? Is it a new look? Is it some tweaks? Is it some going back to school for the show? I want to see some wrinkles. I want to see something. I want to see something. I want to see something. What are you most excited about seeing back in the building? I know we've been there for the exhibitions, Chino, but is there anything in particular you're excited to see, Mister opposite side of the show?
Just bring the heat. I look forward to the occasional fiend death whistle. I've heard that thing in person, and I've got to say, if I were on the court, which will never happen, by the way, that would put me to, like, I would declare for, I don't know, some kind of something. I would ask for compensation for my ears getting my eardrums getting bursted. That whistle's very distinct. Now, by the way, I heard that thing at the football game too. That thing was that fiend whistle is a death whistle. There's a reason why it's called that. It works.
It is. It is.
Well,
And no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is it because the death whistle's so loud, or because the game was the stadium was a little emptier than usual homecoming games? Is that because you could hear the
Yes.
whistle? Yeah. Yes.
The answer.
Good answer.
Yes.
So
Good
both.
answer.
Yeah.
It's like Family Feud. Good answer, everybody. Good answer.
It's
Guys.
great. I mean, yeah, I was running back and forth between where I was sitting and the danger zone based on where Wyoming was, so that I could project the death whistle onto their offense. And yeah, it was good. I think there were a couple turnovers when I was there. Yeah.
Guys, thank you for joining the stream. I know we're going a little extra, of course, when you cover both sports. You go a little extra. Football, homecoming, big victory, of course. Hawaii on the road this weekend, and tomorrow night, Long Beach State tipping things off for the men's basketball season. We're gonna be there. We're gonna be loud. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to say hello. We love connecting with Aztec Nation out there. Of course, we're all about building community and just giving something more to the fan base. Let's get more passionate about these Aztecs, because it's gonna be a fun year. Mountain West final season. We're burning down the football. It's time to burn down the basketball tomorrow night. Before we sign off, guys, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it's been all the talk all over. I mean, Wyoming's football head coach is talking trash about the attendance and the gimmicks and the promotions. I mean, I couldn't believe that when I saw that. I thought it was fake news. I thought it was AI. I thought it was Photoshop generated. But apparently, did Kurt Kenny or Ziegler or somebody had it in their article? Kenny, right?
It's Kenny.
I couldn't believe that he put that out there to be digested. I mean, you just got whooped in San Diego, and then you're going to talk trash because, okay, homecoming attendance wasn't all that it should have been. And it should have been. I thought this was going to be a sellout, guys. I really did. I thought it was. I mean, yeah, it's Wyoming. It's not a draw, but five in a row, first place potential, and it wasn't even better than the Cal game. And homecoming is always very well attended. That's like the one game everybody's coming back, and they're gonna pack the thing out. So, any thoughts, guys? Any thoughts on what we've been seeing lately?
Where do we start?
And don't belabor the point. Just get to it. What do you think? What do you think? Because I spoke trash. I'll put it out there. I put it out there on X, and I got a lot of blowback. I got a lot of likes, but I did get some blowback on it. When the ticket prices, I'm a TickPick app guy if I'm buying a game somewhere else, and they were pricey, dude. I think it was like cheapest ticket I saw. It's a third-party app. I get it. Cheapest ticket I saw was like $62, $68. Cheapest. So if that's their homecoming price against Wyoming, it's college ball, and we've been beating this thing over the head the last 2 years, 3 years, however.
Feels like forever, actually.
I mean, it's a perfect storm. World Series, FC playing as well. I mean, these are factors. It's Halloween. Students, people want to complain about the students not being there, but I mean, they've been there all season. I'm not worried about the students. I'm not worried about that. But it's the alumni. We got to shoulder some of that. The fans, we got to shoulder some of that. But the ticket prices, it's been an ongoing thing. They didn't do really any flash sale. So
what did we see? $150 on Ticketmaster for a top row seat over there in the 300s or whatever it is there. We're not talking about parking, right? Parking yellow lot's like $60. Then you got to factor all the food and you factor all this, family.
Yeah.
I just remember a time in basketball when, and there was a different time and era where, Fisher was, the old adage of where he gave away tickets and all that stuff and built it from the ground up. I don't, it's almost like we priced it. It's almost like we priced ourselves, that to be premium, and we haven't earned that just yet. And whatnot
And
here,
that's
it gets me.
Yeah, and I love that point because I mean we've seen Sean Lewis going out there. He's working his tail off, man. I mean
Yes.
they are promoting the heck out of this thing. Like I'm very, very, very pleased with a lot of the different promotions, the marketing, Coach Lewis getting out there in front of this thing, calling the fans, calling the community to action. I love everything I'm seeing on that level, right? He's going out there giving tickets away like Fisher did. So I love that. But I use some verbiage out there in my tweet that it's like so it feels like self-sabotage because like back when Fisher did that, to your point, when Fisher did that, it was an affordable ticket.
That's the key
In
word.
inflation or non-inflation for back then, because we're talking about 2000, 2001, it was an affordable ticket. It was a reasonable ticket. If you're expecting Coach Lewis to get out in front of this thing and try to sell this thing and drum up the excitement to get down there and buy tickets, don't set him up for failure because that's exactly what you're doing when you refuse to lower that ticket price. It's not doing him any good. I love it because I see he's hustling for it, and I personally don't feel like he needs to be doing that personally, but he's doing it. I respect him even more for it.
Mhm.
But dude, you're tying one hand behind his back and telling him to go out there and juggle.
Yeah, he wants a home field advantage, and the thing is you have to price accordingly. And you mentioned that SDFC was going on, the Dodgers were going on. You have to take all those things into consideration. You may be shocked with this, Mateo. I mean, Jay Savile is the head coach of Wyoming, called us out, said it was better in Wyoming because their fans show up for the games. Do you know what their price? I looked it up on TickPick for their next home game, Wyoming versus Nevada, is the cheapest ticket for 2 tickets is $82. $82 is the cheapest ticket for one ticket. For one ticket. Okay. And we're complaining about $62 at SDSU, brand new stadium. However, let's look at it, okay? Objectively. All right. Wyoming is in Laramie. All right. Your sources of entertainment, your options for entertainment are cow tipping or the Wyoming Cowboys football. That's it. Like in San Diego, you have so many options for, entertainment. And like you said, SDFC and all this other stuff going on. So some of it has to do with pricing. You got to lower the prices. You got to promote it. And then you just got to keep winning, and I obviously we're not pricing it accordingly, like where it needs to be. But I will say in Wyoming, maybe their demand for football is maybe greater than it is here in San Diego.
It's interesting you say that, though. We're an event town, yeah, granted. But you look at the Padres, and I know they're a pro team, and that's an example there. But they built themselves to where they had all those sellouts, and then they've, over the past few seasons, kind of increased it little by little
Mhm.
by little. But by then, they've already established the
Mhm.
product, and they've established the proof of concept, and that's kind of the big difference there. I don't get it. SDFC games, you go to that, even during the regular season, I mean, in Snapdragon, they're attendant nonetheless, and the prices, were right there, if not lower than a state game. And don't get me wrong, I love my Aztecs. We love our Aztecs. We want the stadium to be sold out, but you got a family of four who's trying to go, who's trying to go, and they're spending who knows what hundreds of dollars, and we're not even talking. This is before parking, before concessions. Like I mean, in theory, you lower down. In theory, it's easy to say lower down the prices. You make up for the revenue, in the merchandise and the food they buy. But man, I don't know that. I feel like they shot themselves in the foot. Setting themselves up with a premium price right out the gate without the
I want to
promotion.
highlight what T Mac says. He says attendance was not good because Wyoming is just not appealing. I care more about winning instead of attendance, and I agree with that. I mean, we are diehards, right? We want to win. We want a good environment, all that good stuff. But it's homecoming, right? It's homecoming, and the draw isn't necessarily your opponent. Although, I mean, I get it. It's logical. I mean, Boise's going to come in 2 weeks, and it's going to be increased by without a doubt.
Boise going to take over our stadium, though?
I don't think they're going to take it over, but they will bring a sizable fan base. But the greater point is that it's homecoming, right? This is a homecoming game. Fan attendance should be heightened just because it's homecoming alone. Wyoming, yeah, they're not a sexy draw, but the opponent shouldn't be the draw. It should be an added bonus to Aztec football in this town. Now, we've gotten a lot of conversations about this the last 48 hours, and let's just face it, San Diego State football it's been an uphill climb to try to get the brand back on board in this city. Of course, COVID didn't help things when we're up in Carson for the best year we've had in quite a while. And then you come back in the new stadium. We know all this. It's been a struggle. So they got their work cut out for them, but it goes deeper than football. Kurt Kenny's article, he was really referencing maybe it's a passion thing in San Diego. Maybe it's what did he say? A lack of passion thing. Maybe it's something else. And I agree, but it's also, hey, how are the passionate fans being treated? The few that are passionate when they get there, do they feel as though they're being a little gouged? Do they feel as that they're not being appreciated? I don't know. I'm one, and I'll tell you right now, it's been a struggle for us to just get Sons of Montezuma going. Right, a lot of blockages. So I'm just one tiny example, But I'm a diehard, so I'm gonna go support. But yeah, there's a lot of areas. There's a lot of areas where rebuilding is necessary, and I think that's ongoing. It's ongoing.
We could do a whole nother episode on this, just this topic.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing about it here. I feel like this topic comes up like just year after year after year, even in the years we were at the Q, the Rocky Long area and whatnot, and that big stadium, the Murph, whatever you want to call it, stadium, whatever it is, SECCU, wherever you ended up watching that game. I felt like we have that same problem and whatnot here. And they say winning cures all. And
it should be.
And we're winning. That's the thing.
But that's the thing. It should be curing it right now. We're winning. I think there are people who want to be there, who would have been there,
are priced out.
But they're priced out. So it's like, well, winning can cure it if you allow the medicine to do its work. Like, you don't take medicine and then, go do something that's totally counterproductive towards the working of that medicine. Like, it just
maybe this is all good that this comes out and puts the administration on blast and says, hey, make some adjustments here.
They did for Cal. They did for Cal, right?
Right, but they wouldn't do it for this game.
Well, because it's Cal.
Right, but aren't we trying to fill the stadium though?
Maybe
regardless.
We're not. Maybe we're not. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it was Cal though. But it was Berkeley, right? It was Berkeley.
I'll
let you guys read between. between the lines. On
no,
that.
I got it. I got it. It starts at the top. I got it. Yeah.
I didn't say it.
No, I said it.
Good. I'm glad you did. I said enough for this weekend. Okay, guys. Well, either way, I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm curious about this team tomorrow night.
Yeah, you know what? I whatever, dude. I just want to keep winning. The death whistle is still going to be out there. Boise, San Jose State. I don't care if people don't show up. You know what? The death whistle is going to be out there, and it's going to be loud and proud and getting in the ear of both Boise State fans and their team and San Jose State fans and their team, and that's all I care about. And let's get these dubs and get to a college football playoff. All right, break.
You guys heard it. Hot take fiend. There you go.
Make me run through the screen over here, fiend. Goodness gracious. Come on now.
Oh, all right, everybody. Thank you guys for joining. We've taken too much of my gentleman co-hosts here time and your time as well. But we thank you guys. It's been fun. Aztecs, Long Beach State tomorrow night, 7:00 tip-off. Get there early. Let's get things jumping. And hopefully I'll see you guys before we head to the islands. On behalf of Andrew El Chino, SD Sports Fiend, is Mateo San Diego signing off, sonsofmontezuma.com. Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs.
Stay.
Oh yeah, we'll see you T-Mac. We'll see you tomorrow. All right.